So welcome to everyone out there in the stands and everyone watching on the World Wide Web on the dragracer.tv stream. Warren Evans on the property. Bringing us the live feed, Michael Cole and Josh Brannon. Twitch stream is Tickle Fit. Attention to the pits, x275, first round of eliminations, we need you to the lanes, x275, first round of eliminations, we need you to lanes 2 and 3, x275, round 1 to lanes 2 and 3. And ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to rock and roll. Your first pair in round number 1 of eliminations. And x275. Pair of boosted 4th gen Camaros. To lead us off, we got Devin Brown over the left-hand side. Centrifugal supercharger hanging off the front of that machine, and Chris Shortridge, the turbo car. Temple, Texas-based machine over the right side. On paper, the two closest qualified cars, Shortridge number 7, Devin number 8. 300ths of a second separate them. Chris Shortridge had lane choice, took the right side. Leading us off, round number 1 of x275. Again, small tire, no time shootout. You should be at the back of the lanes for pairing. Once you get paired up, pull forward as a pair. Again, small tire, no time shootout to the lanes. Devin Brown's going to move on. Shortridge was 4th out, too quick. 448, 159. Devin Brown, 36 bulb. Goes 449.5 and 159 for the win. Next pair up, we got Eric LaFerriere. The 2J powered Nissan 240 owned by Dewey Bowie, known as White Rice. Your number 1 qualifier went 421 on his first pass of the day. And Michelle Cato, the big block nitrous aided 94 Mustang. Bringing the RPMs up, bumping in. See what the turbo car can do. Look at the top end charge from the Nissan. 432 at 174. Michelle, far and away her best run of the weekend, goes 440 with a 5 at 161. She was there. Eric made a mistake, but he did not. Picture perfect day to be passed. She had 400ths of a second in her pocket at the tree, and I believe that's a career best for Michelle Cato. Doobie took the left lane with lane choice, a supercharged Fox body. Went 441 with a 2 on his first pass today. Doobie turns it red and then strikes the tires. Todd Moyer, A to B, 448 with a 4 at 161. His best pass of the weekend. Tyler Stubbe going to the trailer. Turned it 26 thou red, struck the tires almost immediately. In x275, Mark mustered a best of 425 to put him in that number 2 spot. And John Wynn, Bull Verde, Texas-based Grand National over on the left-hand side. Now has a turbocharged V8 underneath the hood. Number 13, can only muster a 546, but got to think that car's got a little bit more in it. For both. Mark Moore, 437 at 154. John Wynn makes his best pass of the weekend, 518 at 136, just not quite enough. Mark Moore obviously backed it down just a little bit. But he will go to round number 2. He will take on Devin Brown. Mike Buttafuoco, Shane Heckel make their way into the water box. Will go 429 for the round win at 164, 106 to 60 foot on that pass. Mike Buttafuoco was 109 and had 600 in the bag at the starting line. Car started losing power down track as he goes 506 at 108. Thomas Patterson with the burnout over in the left lane, supercharged 66 Chevy Nova. Struggled with the car this weekend, only got A to B under full power one time, 463 at 157 on his last pass. Was supposed to be alongside of Justin Curry, but in his last qualifying run, Justin Curry sacrificed a piston to the nitrous gods. Could not make the call. Patterson, 455 at 157. His quickest pass of the weekend. So your next pair, we got LaWayne Brown out of Sweeney, Texas, over on the left-hand side. The nitrous-assisted first-gen Camaro taking on Shannon McDougal. The RPM is going to start coming up on Shannon's machine. LaWayne's in, Shannon's in. For LaWayne Brown down at the top end. How about 4:43.4 at 160? Only 5 thou off his best pass of the weekend. Shannon McDougal 4:55 at 153. But Twins' performance just a little bit too much as they drive their way into round number 2. Small tire coming around the corner right now. They're going to be coming up next. So your first pair of small tire no time shootout competitors, Ricky Stanbro left-hand side in that beautiful 2016 Corvette, and Chris Denson in the Mustang over on the right side. Big time wheel stand for Chris Denson. Ricky Stanbro makes a great run down the left side. He's going to move into the second round. Chris Denson, if you can't win it, be spectacular, and that was pretty spectacular from up here. They jump back on the throttle, win light to Lamar Swindle. Eric lost traction first. Lamar about 100 feet down track, turned it sideways. Eric jumped back on it, trying to catch him, just couldn't quite get around him at the top end. So Nick Kalergis drew the bye run this round. And that beautiful red Fox body Mustang Cobra. Good looking pass right there for Nick. Stephen McNabb, Chucky Long going to get it done. Great side-by-side drag race. The Fox body going to round number 2. So your next pair, small tire, no time shootout. We got Blake Catalanato left-hand side, that gorgeous third-gen Camaro, Louisiana-based machine. That's a nitrous car, taking on that turbocharged SN95 Mustang over the right side. Right lane turns in red. Catalanato is going to go to round number 2 with a good-looking pass. Is Ronnie Fofo Ferre. And the Yenko replica 69 Camaro. So Jason Mangum left-hand side in the Camaro in the 5th gen. Ronnie Ferre, former Outlaw 10.5 car over on the right-hand side, now with a pair of 275s underneath it. Jason turned it red. Ronnie Ferre with a great-looking pass right down the center of the lane into round number 2. Wayne Long and Jamie Tanksley sit at the ready stripe. Wayne in that way cool supercharged C10 pickup truck. Jamie, the turbocharged Fox body from Bill Hood Automotive. So attention in the pits and the stands. If you had a puppy over on the right-hand side of the racetrack that was tied to your golf cart, Jamie Tanksley gonna get the job done. Wayne Long coasts on through the top end and one. solo pass. Good looking A to B run. So it looks like 2 solo passes coming in small tire in no time. Wayne Brown, the Sweeney, Texas-based 4th gen Camaro. Big cubic inch nitrous motor underneath the hood. Final small tire car, and then we're going to have a little bit of track maintenance before we go into round number 1 of Pro275. Should have all of our Tex 275 cars back in the lanes in a limited street. Limited street, you should be in the back of the lane. And Wayne looked good off the starting line, made it out about 200 feet. Car started kind of wagging the tail a little bit and took his foot out of it. But good enough to go to the next round. So as I mentioned, Flacco struggled mightily in qualifying, could only muster a best of 5:18. Dipped into the 3-second zone last weekend. Good looking pass for Flacco, 4:10 at 187. Leaps and bounds better than we've seen out of that pickup truck all weekend, so getting closer with it. That's actually the quickest pass of the weekend in Pro275, but still about 2/10 off of what that truck's capable of. First pair in Pro275 round 1. Lamar Swindoll over on the left side. Apparently this is going to be the only pair in the first round of Pro275. It looks like Austin Gandy unable to make the call. Goes 4:20 with a 3. His quickest pass of the weekend by more than 1/10 at 180 miles an hour. Lamar was 0:18 at the starting line. JD was 0:69, 116 to 60 foot. But unfortunately lost traction or something of that nature down there. So Brandon Dominy, the turbocharged Fox body, went 4:22 with a 4 on his last qualifying run. On a good looking pass, top end goes 4:25 at 179. And that is going to put a wrap. Pro 275 first round. Tex 275 is at the ready stripe. So your first pair in round number 1 of Tex 275. We have Matt Hollybeck over on the right hand side and Tyler Garcia in the left. Goes 4:76, his best run of the weekend. Kenny Hubbard turning the screws on Rylan McClaskey's Camaro. Tuned him to back-to-back wins. Duck X Productions races at SGMP, as well as back-to-back Tex 275 championships. Young man's only 20 years of age. At 151. So out there on the starting line, we got Jason Mahalik in the left-hand side. 69 Camaro. Alongside of Ray Ritchie. Ray, your number 2 qualifier. One of the only 2 cars to dip into the 460 range. A pair of big block nitrous-aided machines. Turn down there, and Jason Mahalik gets the win. Ray was all over the place, but still went 469. Well, folks, if you're out there walking around, I would highly recommend going and finding yourself a place in the stands because round 2 of X275 is at the ready stripe, fixing to come at you. All right, so here we go. Your first pair up in round number 2. X275, Devin Brown and Mark Moore. Moore with lane choice taking the right-hand side. Your number 2 qualifier has been as quick as 4:22, but that occurred in Pro275. Devin's dipped into the 40s on a couple of occasions. Supercharged Camaro. Starting line advantage. Does Mark have enough? Yes, he does. Mark Moore goes 431 at 172 and drives around him. Devin Brown was 15 at the tree, goes 457 at 145. So Eric Laferriere has a bye run into the semifinals. 14 cars. So Eric in white rice, owned by Dewey Bowie. Oh goodness, watch the boards. Eric goes 4.203, 175 miles an hour. He was 105 to 60 foot, getting after it early on in a turbo car. Low ET of the event and just missed 14. 420 with a 3. Great pass right there. And that's going to bring up Thomas Patterson and Todd Moyer. Winner of this pair, you lucky dog, you get to run Eric in the semifinals. So Thomas Patterson, left-hand side, that beautiful 66 Chevy Nova, centrifugal supercharger hanging off the front. Has consistently been getting quicker. They're struggling early on this weekend with the car. He went 455 in his last pass. Todd Moyer went 448. The turbo. And a tough break for Todd Moyer. He is not going to be able to make the pass. It looks like Thomas Patterson, after getting a bye run in the first round, because Justin Curry couldn't make the call, he's going to get another bye run here. Todd Moyer is shut off and pushed off the racetrack. Top end, he goes 456 at only 148. Heard a little pop out of that machine down there at the top end of the racetrack. Hopefully nothing wrong with it. Hey guys, we need to see taillights on every car that goes down. We need taillights on every single car that goes down the racetrack. So this is your final pair. In round number 2 of X275, LaWayne Brown over the left-hand side of the nitrous first gen Camaro. There he is. There's Shane Heckel, the man who promised me last night that we would see a sub 1 second 60-foot time. Shane Heckel in the Fox body, right side. LaWayne Brown, first gen Camaro over on the left. Pair of nitrous cars to close out round 2. And Shane's off the throttle before the finish line, but how about another 1:01 60-foot time from Shane Heckel's machine? That is very, very aggressive. All right, so here we go with round number 2 of the small tire no time shootout. We got Ricky Stanbro and Nick Kalergis leading us off in round number 2. All right, so Flacco coming up. He had a competition bye last round. And he has a true bye here. He's finally able to get down the racetrack. So Flacco with another bye run. Let's see if he tries to go A to B again or if he tries to turn it up. As I mentioned earlier, this truck has been in the 3-second zone on multiple occasions. Scoreboard might be a 3-second pass. Not quite. 4:05 at 188. Good looking pass for Flacco, A to B. So Brandon Dominy, Lamar Swindle. Lamar had lane choice here, made his quickest pass of the weekend, went 4:20 with a 3. Once again, 7-0 index, 7-0 index. We need you to lanes 2 and 3. 7-0 to lanes 2 and 3, please. Really having to drive that thing, and Lamar Swindle goes 4:15 at 182. Big puff of smoke out of Brandon Dominy's machine at the finish line, 4:18 at 175. Lamar was 009 at the tree. 1:13 the short time. 4:15, 182 out the back door. Brandon was 80. 080 at the starting line. 104 to 60 foot. So your first pair. X275. This is the semifinal round. We got Jason Mahalik left side. And Matt Holubeck over on the right. Matt goes 480 with a 3 at 143, hiking the front end up in the air. So your final round is going to be Matt Holubeck and Rylan McClaskey. Barring something really weird happening on Rylan's bye run. Rylan McClaskey, the bye run in X275. 469-1 at 149. He will have lane choice in the final round over Matt Holubeck. Well, all right, folks, here we go. The semifinal round in X275 is at the ready stripe. Eric LaFerriere. 2JZ powered Nissan 240 known as White Rice. Rolls up on the left side. Thomas Patterson's car idling really high over the right side. And Eric is being pushed back. He will not make the run. So Thomas Patterson is the luckiest man on the planet, as that is 3 consecutive bye runs. Every single one due to breakage. And Thomas Patterson goes to the final round and just cruises to a 10:45 at 57 miles an hour. Here comes the other half of the semifinal in X275. Winner gets Thomas Patterson in the final. Here comes Mark Moore and Shane Heckel, a pair of Fox body. Turbo versus nitrous. Both of them been in the 20s this weekend. Shower of sparks off of Mark Moore's machine, but he will go to the final round as Shane Heckel loses traction right at the starting line. So your final round in X275 will be Mark Moore, who was 007 at the tree, and then hiked the front end way up into the air. Mark's going to take on Thomas Patterson for the title in X275 here this weekend. All right, so this is your quarterfinal round of the small tire no time shootout category. We got a pair of turbocharged Mustangs coming at you. Dwayne Custer left side, Chucky Long over in the right. Chucky Long hiking the front end up in the air on the Fox body. And that's going to bring up Ricky Stanbro and Blake Catalanato. Catalanato, the Louisiana-based third-gen Camaro over on the left-hand side. Ricky Stanbro, that way cool C7 Corvette over on the right. Nitrous cars coming at you, and then it looks like Twins Performance drew the bye this quarterfinal round. So Chucky Long, Twins Performance, the winner of this pair. Blake Catalanato left, Ricky Stanbro in the right. At the hit, and Ricky Stanbro's machine looked like it was eating itself up going down the racetrack. We're going to have to give that lane a quick once over, but saw a puff of smoke and sparks start shooting out of the right header bank about 300 feet out. As our first final round of the day rolls up underneath the tower, Pro275 will be following small tire no time shootout. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The first final round of the weekend. Pro275 fixing to roll up into the water box. Lamar Swindle coming up over on the left-hand side. And Flacco. Probably the last chance of the weekend to see a 3-second run on the board. Can either of these guys do it? Swindle in gold dust. Terrifically supercharged Hemi-powered 71 Chevy Camaro. Flacco, turbocharged S10 pick-em-up truck. Went down to SGMP last weekend. Put a few 3-second numbers up on the scoreboard. One more time, we need 580 index. If you are not already at the back of the lanes for chip draw, you are tardy. 580, we need you at the back of the lanes for chip draw. If you are not there, you are tardy. Correction, you are already there. And 490. Supercharger left side. Turbocharger right side. Guided up into the stage beams. Flacco goes 4.0 to 188 miles an hour. Lamar was right there if he made a mistake, and he did not. Lamar goes 420 with a 6 at 183, had 300ths of a second in his pocket at the starting line, but Flacco had made that up by the time they crossed the 60-foot mark. And Flacco, your champion here this weekend in Pro 275. And next up, we have the final round in Tex 275. It's going to be Rylan McClaskey and Matthew Alubeck. McClaskey been in the 60s, pretty much all of eliminations over on the right side of the racetrack. Maybank, Texas, young man only 20 years of age, trying to defend his crown. Took on the title at this event last year. got the car together here recently over in the left lane. Got a white Camaro, another fourth gen rather, very similar to this one. Unfortunately got into the retaining wall with it. Transferred a lot of parts and pieces over to this new machine and finds himself in the final round. First X275 points race of the season. He's going to come out on top. Give it to Rylan McClaskey, 468 at 149. Rylan McClaskey on a roll here at Houston Raceway Park 2 years in a row. Matt Alubeck was right there, gave him all he could handle, 475 at 143. Hiked the front end up in the air off the starting line, carried it a good 100 feet out there. Made a good run, was 109 to 60 foot. But Rylan McClaskey, too much to get it done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, the final round in X275. Rolling up into the water box. Thomas Patterson over on the left side. Must have sat on a horseshoe before elimination. He has had nobody in the other lane on his previous three passes. There's Thomas, supercharged Chevy Nova. And that is Mark Moore. Turbocharged, small block powered, Fox body Mustang. Your number 2 and 11 qualifiers. Squaring off for all the marbles in X275. As I mentioned, Thomas Patterson. 3 consecutive bye runs due to his opponent's braking, not being able to make the call. Braking on the burnout. Mark Moore has been in the 20s multiple times this weekend. On his last run, couldn't keep the front end down, hiked it way up in the air. Thomas Patterson's car consistently been getting quicker every pass. Paper, Mark Moore is the favorite, but there's a reason we don't run these races on paper. Mark Moore's car, not going to happen. And Thomas Patterson wins the race, gets into the wall at the top end. So we'll have to wait for a word from the crew at the top end as Thomas Patterson hard into the retaining wall. Saw some sparks out of the right header bank on Thomas Patterson's machine as he went through the 8th mile. And then shortly thereafter, and Thomas Patterson is out of the car under his own power. By all appearances, seems to be okay. The safety equipment appears to have done its job. So the final round of small tire, no time shootout is going to be the Twins' performance, which was supposed to be alongside of Ricky Stanbro. Attention to the pits. Racers, if you are owed money, you need to come up here and see us in race control. Again, if you are owed money, you need to come up here and visit us in race control as the final round. Last category of the night, small tire, no time shootout. $10,000 up for grabs. Wayne Brown out of Sweeney, Texas, over the left-hand side. Big cubic inch nitrous-aided 4th gen Camaro. And Chucky Long, turbocharged, Louisiana-based Fox body Mustang. Both these cars made good laps all day today and have found themselves in the final round. Wayne Brown was supposed to run Ricky Stanbro. Ricky, unfortunately, unable to get the car to fire. So he idled down the racetrack, and then Chucky Long, who had drawn the actual bye, also idled down the racetrack. forgive me if I stumble over my words. I am from a small town just south of Houston, so I'm, no more than 3 steps away from you. Ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. Wayne Brown, the nitrous car left side. Chucky Long, right side the turbo car. Free stage. Builds the boost. Last pair of the turbo car down at the top end. Pop, pop goes the nitrous car, and Chucky Long is your champion in small tire no time shootout. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are still with us, thank you so much for joining us out here this weekend at Space City Showdown 2.0. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Some great racing action all weekend long. Thanks again to our great sponsors, Triple H Structural Steel Covers of Texas, Swindle Industrial Services, Curry Excavation and Site Work, SalterRacing.com, and Hannah Services. Winners and runners up, pictures down in front of the towers. Again, winners and runners up, pictures will be in front of the tower. And if you are owed money, again, racers, if you are owed money, you need to come see us up here in the tower. So thanks to everyone who tuned into the live stream on dragracer.tv. Thanks to Michael Cole, Josh Brannon for the camera work, and of course, as always, Warren Evans for bringing the stream and helping out on the mic. And thank you again, everyone, for coming out and spending your entertainment dollars here with us at Houston Raceway Park. We greatly appreciate you guys. We greatly appreciate all the racers. Thanks so much, and we hope we get to do it again next year.